We're back in the Reagan years, but instead of drugs, it's now the war on drones. Drones are coming to take your jobs, steal your identities, and steal your dog. This week, let's talk about the crazy action going on at the US Customs and Border Protection Agency, where DJI drones are now being held up for longer than your grandma's Christmas cookies. Imports for new DJI drones are reportedly being seized at American Customs or held up just right after the new DJI Air 3S was launched earlier this week. Several people online, including original Dobo and Vic Moss, have reported receiving letters from the respective shipping dispatchers and partners at DJI stating that their unit is being detained for customs. These series of detainments come as a result of an allegation that DJI has violated the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act. However, DJI has stated that they frequently undergo thorough audit checks to ensure that they comply with labor and manufacturing standards, and they do not rely on forced labor. DJI has also stated that they hold the ISO 45001 certification, which mandates that a health and safety employment is paramount in the workforce. Within DJI's community blog posts, they also stated that they're actively working with US Customs and Border Protection to provide the proper documentation in order to get this issue resolved. However, many are speculating that this is in correlation to the ongoing attempts to ban DJI drones within the United States. But again, nothing is confirmed at the moment, and there's no evidence to prove this is any correlation. DJI does state that they're going to continue to keep the public informed on this situation as things progress, so stay tuned for more updates on it. Moving on, the new DJI Air 3S, the latest generation of drone in the Air series, is here, and it brings some exciting new features. The drone was announced earlier this week and features a full 1-inch sensor for better low light performance on the new wide-angle camera. It also includes 14 stops of dynamic range in select modes, and also some enhanced tracking functions. This drone also now features a LiDAR sensor for the first time, enabling obstacle avoidance when flying at night, and they've updated the internal storage to 42 gigabytes, just in case you forget that SD card. The drone comes in at 724 grams, meaning that at the very least, you're going to have a basic pilot certificate to fly this drone in Canada. And of course, we've made a course about that, which dives into everything you're going to need to know in order to get your basic pilot certificate online today, ready to go. We've put a link in the description, so check that out down below, and you can sign up right now and be done by this afternoon. The main thing that's going to set the Air 3 series apart from its competitors is a dual camera system, which features both a 24 and a 70mm lens, meaning you get two focal lengths to choose from while flying. This feature is especially important for photographers and videographers who are looking for a new way to spice up their drone footage and not just be that old boring wide angle. The original Air 3 was launched back in August of 2023 as a successor to the Air 2S, and the new Air 3S seems to be following the same release pattern. You think we're going to see an Air 4 next year? Let us know in the comments. The Air 3S is shaping up to be one of the best drones on the market for enthusiast pilots. We've already got a video out now that talks in detail about the Air series, so check that out if you want to find out more information. GoPro needs to be a little nervous because there's now potentially another update to the Insta360 Ace Pro action camera series. On Wednesday, Insta360 put out a teaser of their up-and-coming release, and the teaser shows what appears to be an action camera shooting down from the sky like a meteorite. This camera will be announced on October 22nd, and we can only really speculate, but we're placing our bets on the fact that this is probably an update to the Ace Pro series, which is their flagship action camera at the moment. The original Ace Pro featured a 1/1.3-inch sensor featuring 8K video recording, and it was in a small form factor with a folding screen and everything. It's basically a GoPro competitor. We don't really think we're going to see a bump in resolution because 8K is already pretty high, but we are hoping to see an increase in image quality through better software and, of course, sensor technology improvements. Leaked specs so far point to an updated 1/1.3-inch sensor with a 50 megapixel resolution paired with what's called active HDR at 4K at 60 frames a second. It's also going to have a Leica lens, 33-foot water resistance, and probably some improved battery life. For FPV or first-person view drone pilots, action cameras have been the go-to way of capturing high-quality footage in the environment that you're flying in. These cameras are known as being durable, lightweight, and offer a wide field of view, which means you can get ultra-wide cinematic shots, just like the pros are getting with the bigger cameras. Things you're going to want to watch out for during the release of this camera is updates to low-light performance and stabilization improvements. Manufacturers are going to be starting to look at things like generative AI, compression algorithms, and just basically looking to add more features and capabilities and not necessarily dramatic camera improvements. Last Saturday, a woman went missing in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, but is fortunately rescued with the help of a thermal drone. The woman had gone for a walk just outside of her home in Howie Center and had been reported as missing around 7 p.m. on Saturday night. Fortunately, police were able to launch a drone equipped with a thermal camera to locate and communicate with the woman through the help of the drone's actual internal speaker. Search and rescue crews were then sent in for a successful rescue with no injuries occurring. This is just another reminder of how useful drones can be when it comes to emergencies. Not only do they allow personnel to find people in distress faster, but they also allow crews to operate in much safer and more efficient ways without having to go deep into the woods themselves. So that's all for today. On our podcast this week, just in time for another atmospheric river, we're going to be talking about flying your drone in poor weather conditions. This episode airs this Sunday at 10 o'clock Pacific, and you do not want to miss it. Remember, just because we didn't burn Finn's shirt this week, it doesn't mean that you don't need to hit that like and subscribe button. If you find this content useful, educational, or even just annoying, be sure to send it to your friends so they too can share in either your enjoyment or your appalling disgust. I've been Ian, and this has been Drone News. We'll see you next week.